Hey y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? I'm here for us to talk about Real Housewives of ATL, honey. We will be getting into some things in just a minute. Let me see how many minutes I want to get. I'll give it a few minutes to get more people to come on into the building because I am going live earlier than my scheduled time. So, yeah. Let's give it a few minutes. Make sure you guys are coming in and liking the video if you have yet to do so. Mm. And we will be getting into that thing in just a second. Um, I should have put that one up there. Team neither. That's the one I should have put up there. What's up, y'all? Good morning. All right, let's see. Is there anything else that I wanted to get into? Let's see. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. I should have. Yeah, I should have. All right, y'all. So let us talk about it. Let us talk about this episode. I feel like for me, this episode did not flow well. Or maybe it was just me. I don't know why. It just seemed, I don't know. It was like a bunch of isolated scenes. I don't know. Um, it didn't flow well, but it did give us some of the things that we wanted to see for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but whatever. But it was cool. And first off, before we really get it started, I have to say rest in peace again to Angela's mom and send condolences over there to her mom. You know, watching her mom on the screen, I kind of was like, dang, I hate that we didn't get a chance to like really experience her mom more, right? Because her mom definitely was giving like she gonna give us some cackles for sure, right? That's the energy I was getting. Like, okay, she a little funny. Okay, but I might have to tap on mama just a little bit. Rest in peace, girl. I might have to tap just a little second, and it's not gonna be. It's just gonna be a little, just a little piece. It ain't even a piece. It's really half a piece. It's just like a boop. Okay, and then we gonna move on. All right. I understand. Angela said whatever drama they had as a family is it no longer matters, right? It no longer matters to her because you know life is short, and I'm sure that she realized that after the passing of her mom and stuff, she probably was just like, listen, it ain't even that deep because at any moment you could lose somebody. Because I think that she said that when she lost her mom, it was like so like unexpected or something like that. So yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hold on one second, y'all. I feel like YouTube been a little shadow banning your girl just a little piece. You feel what I'm saying? Well, just a little piece. They act like that sometimes. They be up and down with it, honey. But all right. So let us go ahead and get into it, okay? Y'all know I gotta drink my little water, just a little piece. Okay. So first of all, we start with Charles and Angela. Let's get into them. So they talking about basketball coaches or something like that because he works with a particular what is it, Big Three team or something? Is that Ice Cube's league? I don't know why I saw, but okay, yeah. I'll try to remember to do that. Like, I wish I would have thought about that yesterday. Anywho, um, so they're talking about, basketball coaches and stuff because I think she said that Charles owns like some car washes or something like that up there in New York. He also is a coach for a big three, basketball team or whatnot. And what was kind of funny was watching Angela talk about basketball, like she really know what's going on in basketball. So when they talked about, I don't know if the guy's name was Bo Jackson, Joe Jackson, whatever his name was, or Johnson, the guy they were talking about, he's like telling her who he plays for. And she over there talking like she know. I'm like, girl, you know damn well you don't be watching basketball like that. You know that's his thing. But anywho, so she says that, when they have their back and forth, that's their love language. And Charles disagrees. And she's like, I'm over here trying to throw him a bone. And he not even trying to catch it. And he was like, I don't need no bone. I said, no, yes, the fuck you do. Yes, you do. You do need a bone. Okay, you need a bone. You need a little piece of water to go with it. All right, because the energy that Charles gives to Angela, I cannot stand it. In my personal, I'm like, cause he be acting like he's uninterested, and he may love her down, but it does not translate on screen, and it's annoying. Like every time she says something, it makes me feel like he lives to be in opposition of her. And that would get on my motherfucking nerves. And like I told my patrons, I was like, when you had, y'all know how when you have to have an acquired taste for like some wine or a certain type of food, maybe caviar or whatever, that's what it gives with Charles. Okay, he's an acquired taste that clearly only Angela can really deal with. Okay, because why is you always disagreeing with everything that comes out her mouth? But when they say something about you messing with a lady down there to the New York or whatever, you ain't really have shit to say. Open that mouth up now. Be in opposition now, Bookie Doo. So, anywho, um, she starts talking to him about her family because her sister said some things. I think her sister may have said some homophobic shit. Now, that's not confirmed. Okay, that's just my opinion. Right? We already know that the sister ran up and got up in her daughter's face or whatever the case is. And at this point, I feel like she said something homophobic. Like they can't say the lady's name on the camera because they bleep that out. They don't show her face. All right. And maybe the sister just said, I don't want to be a part of the SHI you got going on. I don't know. But she must have said something else to that lady daughter. That lady said, I'm about to dip this in the board, but I'm going to have to talk to my sister, X, Y, Z, ABC. So she asking Charles about it. Charles said, well, I've been there. Right? He's like, I've been there, when it comes to my family and stuff, but I just think that basically what he was telling her, she needs to set some fucking boundaries, right? And she's like, she may go around the world with stuff, but Charles is a straight shooter. He gonna come at you straight. He real straightforward about his. And I have to agree with Charles. Sometimes we may teeter the lines because we don't want to hurt people's feelings and this, that, and the other. But I'm with him. If you have been taking care, if you've been paying for a home that your mom and your sister live in, and your sister hasn't been contributing, bitch, don't you ever in your life fix your mouth to think you finna say anything to my motherfucking child. Okay? And we don't, that's not how that rolls, love. I don't play those games. Okay? Don't do that. I'm looking out for you. If you got an issue with my kid, you come to me. Period. And honestly, that's across the board for me. That's across the board for me. Now, I am going to have to shift my thinking a little piece with my new little one and having his dad there, okay? So that is a big difference than the first one when I had a whole lot of more control versus having to check in with somebody and see what they think, right? But don't do that. Okay. And she looking out for you and stuff. And here's my thing too. You gotta learn and know when to cut family off in my personal, because if you keep giving and giving and giving, when it's your time to have some, who you finna get it from? How they gonna help you out because you too busy helping them? And I'm not saying don't help family. What I'm saying is draw a line. Okay. Put some boundaries in place. So for me, I'm with Charles, and it's like, girl, you had me agreeing with Charles a few times. Okay. I'm with Charles, right? That's crazy. So maybe Charles ain't as bad as what I'm thinking, but I just wish that he would be a bit more loving towards his wife. And he might be behind the scenes. Maybe he feels uncomfortable being on camera, right? I mean, we got him in that confessional. He did give us a little laugh or whatever. She wanted to kiss, and he's like, what you want to kiss for? And I'm like, okay. Cause she want a kiss. Give her. If I say give me a kiss, that's what the hell I mean. Like, what do you mean? So I'm like, maybe he felt uncomfortable because the cameras was there. He's still getting used to this, of some sort, right? I don't know. Cause it's different when you on the field, or on the court playing basketball. You got cameras in your face and you doing interviews and stuff. But it's a bit different at the same time, right? So anywho, I agree with Charles. Had on boundaries and stuff like that. And my question now that we know her mother has passed away, what's up with the sister? Where's she at now? Are you still looking out for her? Are you still supporting her? What is that? So let's get to Shamia and Cynthia, right? So Shamia and Cynthia have this sit down. Y'all know this is after the pampered party, and Shamia getting emotional because she feels like Porsha is taking on what other people have said and all of that. Now, let me tell y'all, I am not going to be all team Shamia on this, and I'm not going to be all team Porsha on this. I'm going to be how it looks to me, okay? How it looks to me. Now, if you do not like that, that's okay. right? Because you're entitled to how you seen it versus how I seen it. And yes, we all can watch the same thing and come back with something completely different. Okay, it's just what it is. So Shamia says that she's been feeling sad and says that she doesn't know why. So she texts her mom like, I've been feeling sad. I don't know why. Can you pray for me? Mama said, I'll pray for you right now. I said, Shamia, baby, let's not act like we don't know why we sad. Let's not act like we don't know why we sad. It is given to me just a little piece, ma'am. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Love you down. But it does look like to me that you may have said some things and you're wondering what else was told to her. That's kind of how it's looking, just a little bit. I do feel like you have conversations about Porsha because I already told y'all and I'm gonna bring it up again and again. The dynamic with her and Kelly at the house. Kelly was looking at her when she told her, you make me feel uncomfortable when you say this and that about Porsha. Kelly was giving BIT, we always talk about her like, what you, oh, okay. The camera said, oh, okay. Well, oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, I talked to her. It was a little awkward. All right. Now, Shamia says that she was blindsided. She says she would never give these ladies the opportunity to put her friendship with Porsha on the line. You kind of did. You didn't know that it was going to go that far though, right? Right? You kind of did. Another thing I'm going to say this too while it's on my mind. Shamia she didn't feel like what she said was so bad because she's been saying it. Right? When she confided in those ladies and felt like, oh, it was taken back to her a completely different way, it's because you've been saying it already, I feel. You just didn't expect it to be this whole big old blow up type of situation when technically it kind of wasn't. But let's keep going. So she says the fact that Porsha questioned her in front of the girls was like they were the jury or something. And I said, this is what I don't like. When you have me kind of like on one side, just a little bit. Listen, I didn't think Porsha questioned you. I don't recall her really questioning you. You were just fueled up, amped up, and in your feelings that you learned from Angela that she took information back to Porsha. You learned that by Kelly. But Porsha never had the conversation with you. But my thing is, has Porsha shown you any energy to make you feel like you needed to react the way that you did? Because I do kind of feel like maybe Porsha was just going to shrug her shoulders to it and just be like, I'm not even going to talk about it. Like, like, okay, I'm not even going to bring it up. Or maybe she was going to bring it up at a later time. So something about that was, I don't know. I didn't feel like Porsha asked you anything. I think you was already upset. So you don't know if Porsha was just going to let the conversation die like that or not. But the conversation got started because Kelly did bring it up. Kelly said she felt like Porsha and Shamea needed to have a conversation and figure out this and figure out that or whatever the case. So I don't really feel like she asked anything. Right? So anywho, what else we got? So then she she said, and also for Porsha to take the word of theirs over hers is a bit disheartening. But I'm trying to see when she really took their word. I guess she took their word because she was sad about it. She felt the way about it. I mean, y'all been off this whole season because y'all really ain't been filming with each other for real, for real. Y'all really haven't. And when y'all have filmed with each other, it kind of has given forced just a little bit to me, right? But anywho, so she said she felt like Porsha took their word over hers. And yes, Porsha could have went back and had a one-on-one conversation with her friend, and she didn't. So maybe Shamia is right in how she felt. Like, okay, you took their word over mine, and you over here crying and this, that, and the other, when you could have just came to me and I could have told you what it is that I said. But she just rode and rocked with what that girl was saying, right? And we'll kind of talk about that a little later. So Shamia says it was brought back to Porsha in a weird way. She says that she would never sit with Angela and have a talk about Porsha. This is where I have to get you, okay? I slick don't care about the weird way because we have also seen you carry stories back in a weird way, right? But in addition to that, I feel like you did sit with her, right? Because you're saying that I would never sit with Angela and talk, have a conversation about Porsha. Maybe you wouldn't just go up to Angela and say, hey, I want to tell you about my friend, right? However, when they asked you questions, you answered, right? Oh yeah, I mean that when she did that, that was hurtful, but we moved past that and da 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 da. You could have just hit it out the gate with, we moved past that. I'm not even gonna rehash that conversation with y'all. Knowing how these ladies work. Knowing how these ladies work, you could have just been like, I'm not even gonna entertain it, right? Um, hold on, because I want to make sure I put this in my notes here. Okay. Okay. Okay, boom. I did put it in my notes. Okay, so let's keep going. So Shamia says that she'll never sit with Angela or any of that, right? And then Cynthia says she could see how friendship, like she could see Porsha and Shamia's friendship like hers and Nene's. So in my head, I'm just like, well, if you could see they friendship like y'all's, then you should also see that it ain't the group that's breaking it up. Okay, that was between you and Nene. And most of it probably was Nene's fault, right? So, okay. Anywho, so Shamia brings up what Porsha's mom said, right? So she brings up the mama saying something about, in so many words, like she don't trust Shamia, okay? Now, this is where I had to say this. Shamia, baby, when you sat up there and said that you'll never have a conversation with Angela about Porsha, you would. You know how I know that you would and you did? Because you're having a conversation right now with Cynthia about Porsha's mama. Now, granted, Porsha coming down to the internet talking about, don't say this or that about my mama, what you say about my mama. Like, girl, go away. Because I don't feel like what Shamia said about your mom this entire episode, there was nothing that was bad. If anything, it's all about what your mama had to say about her when she was dead ass out of fucking line for period. Okay? Now, and then you know what? I'm not going to say period because I'm going to add to that. I'm going to say a lot of times parents will tell you about your friends. That's just what they do. But what was more so out of line was Porsha going back, sharing that information with Shamia when I personally kind of feel like that wasn't Shamia's business. Especially if you're going to continue to be a friend with her. Right? That I ain't like that at all. But Shamia, you're having conversations with Cynthia. And how you know Porsha wants Cynthia to know what her mama said? Or she said this and it hurt me. Yada yada. Like, so you did have a conversation with Angela and them. So at this point, I am willing to believe Drew and Angela when they say that you pinky swear to not have this conversation out. Because you're doing it right now. Instead of having this conversation with Porsha. Now, did you reach out to Porsha and Porsha didn't want to meet with you? Because she damn sure was willing to meet with you to sit with Ralph. So y'all should have been sat down versus you sitting over here with Cynthia. Okay? So anywho, Porsha, yes, like I said, I feel like you were wrong for telling Shamia what it is that your mom said. I don't know how you did it. If you did it in an argument, like my mama told me not to trust you, or if you did it on some girl, guess what my mama said? My mama said this and that. Either way, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Shamia talks about how she got introduced to Porsha's mom when she was like in elementary, middle school. Their parents were like best friends or whatever. At least her mom considered Porsha's mom a best friend. You cannot be mad at Shamia for saying that when that is the perspective that Shamia is getting from her mother. Just like you coming down, don't say that about my mama. You know exactly what your mother did to my mom. What your mom did to my mom was egregious. Girl, that's what your mom told you. Okay? That is what your mama told you. And Miss Diane, this is where you are wrong, in my personal. You're wrong as fuck to take whatever issues you have with Shamia's mama and project them onto her and Porsha's friendship. And when you do stuff like that for me, it gives a jealous spirit. And y'all can believe it or not, but there are definitely mothers that are jealous of their daughters. Okay? And I'm going to just say this. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay? And you over here projecting how you feeling about this girl mama onto your daughter because you really don't want them to be friends or whatever. Like, that's whack. Okay? Shout out to the people we have in the chat. If we could get the likes up to 100, that'll be great. Thank you, guys. So then she says that her mom, her mama always thought that. So we talked about Diane and her projecting or whatever the case. So that's pretty much the wrap up when it comes to like Porsha and Shamia sitting with Cynthia having this conversation about Porsha when she really should have been having a conversation with Porsha. And the mama, because my mama definitely has told me about some of my friends. Don't get it twisted, honey. She has, and she ain't been wrong. Okay. However, I'm not finna go back to my friend and tell them, oh yeah, my mama had said that she don't like you like that and that you a little hang ass little helpful. She said that you a little jealous little bitch. Yeah, she had wanted me to ask you why when I had told you I was gonna do this and that, you tried to rush and do it before me. Like, what the fuck? I'm not finna do that. Cause honestly, times my mama told me that I didn't want to believe it. I was like, girl, cause who wants to hear that their friends are jealous of them or anything like that? Like, stop saying that. And oh, well, they rushed and did this and that before you. It's like, mama, like whatever I'm supposed to have, I'm gonna get that anyway. They can rush and go do whatever it is that they want to do, but what I'm supposed to have, I'm gonna get that anyway. Period. Okay. So I mean, but mama's not be playing, but I'm just not finna that's not let the friendship run its course. But that's how mama's gonna keep you in the know, ain't it? Just like they try to tell you about the raggedy dudes, you probably dang. Hello. So Kelly is working on her business out there in Sandy Springs, y'all. I don't know if it's ever gonna come to pass for her, but I really hope so. I'm really hoping things get better for Kelly, with the financial situation. Her daughter, because they were doing the driving and stuff, and her daughter was talking about how she wants the BMW and this, that, and the other. And obviously, at this point, Kelly knows her finances have changed significantly, right? To where she's like, oh, you want a car, but you're going to have to get a job. Like, she's like, you could pay for it. And Kelly's like, no, you're going to have to put in on this. Now, granted, whether Kelly got all the money in the world or not, I don't see anything wrong, in my opinion. Y'all let me know. Y'all going to do that anyway, because that's how y'all is saying. But I don't see anything wrong with her having her daughter still pay for some stuff so that she can learn the responsibility of things. So, like, yeah, I may help you get the car, and I'll put so much down or whatever the case is, but you're going to have to contribute towards this much. Or I'll pay the note for a year and then you're going to have to take care of it because you need to know the financial responsibility or whatever. So I see nothing wrong with that. But I also think that she's more so wanting her daughter to get a job and work so that she doesn't have to continue to pay out when her funds are becoming limited just a little bit. And she has these other little babies that she has to take care of. And their dad is not really trying to contribute in any fashion. So very tough situation for Kelly to be in. But I would love to see her continue to be on the show because I would love to see her overcome this situation and see what else she has in store, right? She might say, I'm not going to do the Sandy Springs location and I may do a different location, right? Or she might get a smaller location out in Sandy Springs. Who knows? But definitely wishing the best for Kelly. Let's get to Shamea because Shamea talks about picking her single. All right. She has a project. I'm hoping Shamea drops this project like at the end of the season because I'm looking forward to it. But that Never Had song is really cute. I really like that Never Had song because it really do put you in your little 90s mood, like. But she's about to pick her single and she says, it just sucks because Porsha isn't here. And my question is like, was Porsha invited to come? Like what happened with that? Like, was she invited, not invited? Like what's what? So then she goes on to talk about her friendship with Porsha. And granted, this is with her other friend and this is with her sister. And yet again, for me, it's just things that are showing up for me to believe that you did have these conversations with Angela and Drew. And if you didn't like it, whatever the case is, yeah, y'all move past that. However, you still got some unresolved feelings. You even came down to the table with Porsha to even confirm that you still have unresolved feelings. So really, did Angela and them take back something that wasn't really said? No. You don't even know what they said. For real? You don't even know what they said. You just automatically went to the phase of, oh, they're taking back some stuff. They telling Porsha something about how it didn't even go. And Porsha didn't tell you what they said, really? And they didn't really say it. So you did say it. You did. Okay? And that's fine, right? I have no issue with you saying those things, right? It's just more so just be honest about, I did have those conversations. There are things that are not resolved because you pretty much got down to the table and said those very things to Porsha. So there's that, right? So then we get Porsha, Angela, and Cynthia. They all go out, go bowling, do what they do. And Porsha tell the ladies about her daughter and how she hasn't been in the home as much, right? So she's thinking that her daughter is highly affected by the divorce. And then she's realizing like, dang, I'm not in the home as much because now I'm having to work. I'm having to be out of the home to secure this bag. So that's something that's affecting her as well. So Porsha is now realizing that. But then she also brings it up again, how her daughter asked about Paw Paw and where's Paw Paw at? Oh, he's working. Well, he's been working and gone for a very long time. Okay, and when he calls or when he's something, I'll let you know. Whatever it was, Porsha told this girl, I don't give a fuck about how this baby is feeling about this man. Now, granted, she might be feeling away because, I mean, y'all are in his fucking house, okay? Y'all are in this man's house. And she may be used to him being around too. So she is noticing stuff that's strange. Let me tell y'all something. Kids are smart. The parents aren't. Okay? The kids be smart. The parents be dumb as hell. Because why was that man even around your child so soon and you don't even know him like that? And baby, the way I saw a tweet where somebody said the fact that Porsha watched Simon not give a damn about Fallon's kids and thought that he was going to care about hers is crazy. It is. It is. It is. It very well is. To think he was going to care about your daughter? Nah, especially not when he's complaining about how his kids need a place to stay. Remember that? Remember Simon was talking about how she occupying his home and he can't even bring his kids there, so he had to figure out where the kids was finna go? Yeah, and you think that he finna answer a text message from you about your daughter? He don't give a fuck about that little girl and about didn't care about it then either. Because that's your daughter. That's your child. Okay? And she got a daddy that she sees damn near every day. So why should she give a damn about where the hell Paw Paw at? You just thought that you was going to be able to use that baby in the effort to get in contact with him. And for you to go on and say something right afterwards like, oh, Simon enjoys or whatever, making my life a living hell, or he always figure out ways to make my life a wreck, or whatever it was that you said. If he is often and so focused on making your life a wreck, then what makes you think that he was going to answer a text? Girl, what? What we crying for? Because it ain't over him. I personally feel like Porsha's crying out of embarrassment. That's what Porsha's crying about. Porsha is embarrassed. That's why she's crying. I don't think it was really no love there for real. I think she felt like she hit a lick, and over time she probably could make herself love him because of how he provides for her. That's what that was. But no, ma'am. That woman embarrassed because she thought she was going to be able to live that life. Oh, I'm done with Housewives. Okay. Retire early, get a stipend every month. No, you embarrassed. And you crying about the fact that your life has pretty much, the walls then came crumbling down on you. That's what's going on, you know? But anywho, what else? So Porsha says that, I can admit because I'm going through this divorce that I may not be, the best friend that I can be right now. Like I can admit that, because I'm really fragile right now. I don't care about you being fragile. I'm sorry. Because you know who else is fragile? Drew Sidora. Drew is fragile and also going through a divorce with her kid's actual father. So do you think that you gave a damn when you tried to put those allegations out there knowing this lady going through a divorce trying to say that she over there fucking on your baby daddy? Did you care about that? Did you care about what she was going through when you sat up there and tried to say that lady was over there sucking zit? And you think I'm supposed to give a damn about you crying because you're embarrassed? That's insane. But I'm glad that you don't care what I think. I'm glad that you don't. Okay? But girl, no ma'am. We don't care about you being fragile. And let Shamia tell it, you're always fragile. You're always in a fragile state. So, she talks about the party, the pamper party, how she wanted it to be a moment for them to celebrate and then come together and all of this other stuff or whatever. So that's what she says. She says, but why is the narrative that I'm being a terrible friend? Why is that the narrative? Why are you having this conversation with these ladies and you not having a conversation with Shamia? I feel like you was giving Shamia the same treatment you was giving Drew. And then you get in the confessional and talk about, oh, you don't want to lose any friends. I don't want to break up with anybody. I don't want to lose anyone. But honestly, that's what you're doing. You're literally, I feel like you are isolating yourself from everybody on your own. So when next season come and people not so open and welcoming and wanting Porsha around, it's because you created that space to isolate people. I mean, to isolate yourself from people. At least that's what I think. So, she says that she says going through this divorce, she says she knows 100% she hasn't been the best of friend right now. She says that she doesn't have the capacity to go through a friendship breakup, but it seems like you do. It seems like you do. And you know what else is given to Porsha? Not so much as you also isolating yourself from friends and stuff, but it's also given I'm not up right now. Right? When you up, I feel like if she was not going through this divorce and it was her and Simon doing well, she would have how Shamea wanted Porsha to show up on camera. Porsha would have showed up on camera. And it would have been, yes, me and my bestie got these African men and we got wealth. And yes, let me see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And Porsha would have probably threw herself a party in comparison to Shamea's to celebrate nothing but the fact that she has a wealthy man at the house. So I don't think that it's just solely like, of course she's not up, Jami, because she's going through a divorce. No, I don't think it's just the divorce. I'm saying that she's not up to be she's not at the same level as Shamea right now. Right? She's not at that same level to have a loving partner and to have the wealth to go with it. So that's what she really in her feelings about. I personally feel she can't brag how she wanted to. Love wins. She can't brag how she wanted to. And I think that's eating away at her. But I also feel like that would eat away at you if you're a person that likes to compete with others. And I blame your mama for that. Mm-hmm. I do. I do. I really do. Because I'm trying to figure out what Shamea could have done for her to always want to question Shamea's friendship when she's always been loyal. Right? But because she's had not so great of a friendship with her mother, she wants to put that off on her or project. Yeah, nah, shouty. Let's see what else we get. So Angela and her mom, okay. So her mama don't really like Charles and something that he said, right? First of all, let's get into this. So the mom talks about how she's moving into her own home. And Angela didn't know that. She just learned it in that moment. So she's like, "Oh, you just dropped some on me, and I ain't even know that." She was like, "Yeah, I just want to be self-reliant, and I want you to be able to focus on other stuff, and you ain't got to worry about us." So when she said us, I'm like, she must be talking about you and the sister, talking about the mom and the sister, right? So then, of course, she talks about Charles and how she don't really like Charles like that, but she's working on it. And then said that Charles did something at once upon a time where I guess he told her she needs to tell her daughter to clean up. And I guess the mama didn't like what he had to say, so she walked towards him and said what she said or whatever. And that ever since then, they haven't had the best of a relationship. Now, in my personal, I'm with Charles. Feel how you want to feel. BITCH, if I'm around this house cleaning up and I'm picking up, pick your shit up too. Because after a while, people you're going to get tired of that. People don't even like cleaning up after their own kids sometimes. Like, why every time I come in your room look like X, Y, Z? Like, clean your shit up. And we too grown tonight. So I'm with Charles on that. And you trying to run up on me because I told you your daughter need to clean up. Then what's going on with the home training? Just a little piece. Okay? Now, granted, Charles probably knew who he got when he married her. All right, so he about already knew what the journey was going to look like as far as him cleaning up. But then Charles do act like he can't afford cleaners. Like, neither one of y'all really have to clean up if you just get the cleaners to come out because obviously you follow the money. So y'all got coin. Y'all throwing this coin all into them houses. It ain't going to cost that damn much to get no cleaners up in that thing. But anywho, I would have had to say something to mama too. Like, don't, girl. Like, I'm just saying what your daughter need to do. Have her clean up. Right? So I'm willing to believe that the issue wasn't all about just cleaning up. The issue was they already felt the way about Charles' ass. Charles just said that one thing and it lit that fire. So mama she was waiting for him to give her something so she could snap on his ass, high key. But then the other thing, they talked about the sister, right? So of course, Angela still feels like she want to have this conversation with her sister, figure some stuff out. And she brings up how her and the sister still don't talk. And she felt like oftentimes the mama would choose the sister side on stuff, but the mama kind of seemed like she was disagreeing. And I'm like, well, ma'am, one, the first thing, this for you, Angela, ain't no motherfucking way we not finna be talking, but you staying in a house that I'm paying for. No, 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 no. And Angela must told the sister to get out or something. I don't know. But the mama appears to me that I believe exactly what Angela's saying because the mom chose to leave the house that she was having that was taking care of her to go and move somewhere else with that very daughter. So for me, I feel like she often did protect that daughter over Angela a lot of times. And I feel like Angela was very well within her right. And I also wouldn't be surprised if Angela was forced to be held responsible for that daughter the same way her grandmama made her feel she was forced to be responsible for her mama. Right? Because she talked about her mom at one point. I think she had some things, I don't even know, but she had some health things going on, right? I don't know if it was like mental health or physical, but she had some things going on. And her grandmama told her to always look out for her mother, take care of her mother. That is what she did to the extreme power. Then her mother, in my opinion, turned around and told her, in my opinion, to look out for your sister. And it always be the ones that you take care of the most that will be disrespectful as fuck to you. Will be disrespectful as fuck to you and treat you as if you owe them something, like you're supposed to do this. And don't let it be a person that is incapable of taking care of things for whatever reason. They're going to use that. You know, I can't do X, Y, and Z. You know, I can't do da 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 da. Oh, hell nah. Girl, you're going to have to draw the line at some point, especially if sister is mentally and physically able to go and get it out the mud. Then she just might have to. Okay, so I do wonder, and I hope that is a question at the reunion about what that family dynamic is with her and her sister now that her mother has passed. Now, granted, I don't believe Angela is going to say anything negative about her sister because she ain't going to want to drum up that drama. But what I do hope is since the passing of her mom, that her relationship with her sister has gotten better. Now, the fact that Angela ended her post by saying any family issues are of no concern or something like that, she said, leads me to believe that they haven't fully resolved everything. And, you know, sometimes with the passing of a family member, it can bring out and bring up some old feelings or just the unresolved ones, whatever it is. Like, it could be some mess. It could be some drama, right? So I don't know, but I would hope things have gotten better. I hope that's a question that is asked at the reunion, okay? Now, next up, let us get to Drew and her mom talking, right? So Ralph is trying to get her attorney recused from the case because the attorney went and created an LLC and shut down the other LLC that he was managing, right? So the mama had it shut down, okay? So then she talks about, I'm not the mama, but the attorney had it shut down and started a new one. So she says that was incorporated in 2005. Drew, Ralph might be doing you a favor of getting you a new attorney, because let me tell you something. Ain't no way I'm finna create something well before you came into the picture and think that you finna get a large chunk of the money. Didn't he say he wanted 60% of it? 60% when this woman has been Drew Sidora, but she literally came onto the game with her own name as a singer. She came onto the show as Drew Sidora. And I used to be like, well, who is this Drew Sidora? Like, is that just like a name? Like for the game, or is that like a real person? And when I looked it up, it was like no, that's really who she is. So I was expecting more from her after that, because I'm like, maybe she's a singer in real life, whatever the case is, right? So that's who she is. And you trying to get 60% of that is fucking crazy to me. And you wonder why social media be on your ass the way that they do. But you just feel like we eating out of Drew's hand or whatever. No, a lot of it is how you've shown yourself to be. And then you get on your platform, you want to sit up there and apologize to her, and then you want to continue to go on to do function. No. Okay? Drew not tearing enough shit up for me. Okay? So then she says that since they created the new LLC, now he wants 40% of that LLC. And she's just like, why would you put me in a position to where you want all my money? Like, when you know I have to take care of these kids, like, why would you do that? And then she says they've been, requested to submit their financials, and he has yet to submit anything. The stuff that he's submitting, of course, would be Drew's stuff because he's using that as his job because he was a manager or whatever it was. He was managing the LLC. But what else do you do? Because she said that he made good money. So what else you do? If he graduated from Rutgers, I'm willing to believe that man got him a good job. Wasn't he in like project management or tech or something? I believe that. I believe that he still is. I believe that Ralph is a man that likes money. Who doesn't? So I refuse to believe that you will allow Drew's checks from Atlanta to be your only sole form of income. And the fact that y'all keep going to the courts and Your attorney ain't saying nothing to the, because that's what it seems like to me. Drew's attorney not bringing up or not saying nothing to the courts about Ralph not submitting his financial records. That's crazy. And you need to get another attorney. I'm sorry. She does need to be recused or excused by you for sure. Let me move on. I need to get somebody else because like if he think he's gonna get a piece, because first of all, if it was illegal for you to sit up there and even close that LLC, she shouldn't have even did that. If she was not supposed to do that as an attorney and acting in your best interest, she should not have done that. She was wrong out the gate. If that is something that is not legal, according to Girl, is that legal? It wasn't legal. She's not acting in your best interest. She has to go. And I can tell you that from the moment they first sat down. The difference in how her attorney is in comparison to his. Nah, she put you in more jeopardy than helping you. But I don't know. You be giving gullible a little bit. Or naive one. You be, I don't know, girl. You need to get, girl, fix it. So Drew says that she's taking care of the kids 100%. The mama's like, he don't help you with his narcissistic, whatever else ass that she said that he was, manipulative ass. Okay, I believe the mama. I believe that was a real, authentic conversation they was having in that car. And I believe her. A very calculated man. Because I will never let you forget how you had a whole week to say what you had to say and you waited until Drew dropped her album. The day her album released, you decided to come to social media and give this whole elaborate Drew's lying on me, Drew's that you could have did that shit on Monday or Sunday night. As much as you watched the show House Husband downstairs. So yeah, he's a very calculated man. And I feel like a lot of people that may go up and want to believe the shit that he said, you just don't like Drew. That's just how I feel about that. You just don't like her. So she says Ralph locked her out the house by changing the security codes, and then she had to go get a hotel. Then says finally he comes to the house and he lets her in. Now, when she says finally, I don't know if she prematurely booked the hotel or if she had to get the hotel, and when she reported back that morning when she got up, then he came up from the damn downstairs and unlocked the door. Whatever it is and however it was, the motherfucker should have never changed the security code anyway. And what it leaves me to believe is that her getting in the house so late, because we know Ralph likes to watch her, and you might want to check your phone and make sure it's not tapped. The way he took his ass down to Tampa, but want to still monitor what they doing in the house, but don't want to tell her where you went though. Right? Just like you don't want to tell her what your financials are. Right? Yeah. I feel like he should not have changed those security codes. That's what the focus should be at. With your trifling ass. I can't stand Ralph, y'all. And y'all can tell I just can't stand him. I can't stand him. He's not a unattractive guy. He's a very attractive guy. And I feel like people lean into that and just buy into the bullshit he be talking about. Because he cute. No. Ralph full of shit. Sitting up there changing some security codes and stuff. I feel like what he really was doing was trying to see who she was bringing into the house at 1 a.m. Who you come. Because, he liked to watch on different cameras and stuff. So he wanted to try to control that just a little piece. She coming in late. Let me see who she with. That's what I was thinking. Okay. But anywho, so that's that. Drew and her mom do talk about her and Ralph, and Drew got the audacity to sit up there talking about they have good co-parenting. I said, not if this nigga locking you out the house. That's not what that is. That's not good parenting, ma'am. Especially if your kids is in that house and he locking you out. That's not nice. Because he know he'll have a whole damn fit and write a whole dissertation for social media if you locked him out the house. That's why I said you ain't fucking shit up enough for me. So, what else? Her mom feels like if he cared and if he loved her or whatever the case was, he wouldn't be trying to put her in a poor financial situation. And mama is right. Then she goes on to say, she says the only thing she told Ralph is that she didn't like the setup. She didn't like how the judge had it, him downstairs, her upstairs, or whatever, because they did not take in account the children's mental. I think the courts may have tried and thought that they were taking in consideration the mental of the kids, potentially, because they could have had him outside the house so drastic, like real quick, right? But honestly, I don't think it would have been a way around it, whether he was downstairs or whether he was out the house. It still was going to be an effect on those kids because that's not their normal day-to-day life. So now they are having to readjust. So she says the kids are out of control. And if I can't tell somebody what to do and discipline them or whatever, then we got a problem. So Drew gets real emotional and says that she didn't even notice that her kids were acting different, right? And how they were being affected by this divorce. And I think that that's a common thing that I've heard. Some people don't notice, how it affects the kids. But then also I think that Ralph may have been the one to discipline the kids the most. So Drew may be operating in her same normal, Josiah, come on. Such as a, come on. Like, sit down. No, y'all saw how she was talking to her daughter about getting her hair done? You couldn't play with me like that. I couldn't play with my mama like that. You understand? If I tell you to come here to get your hair done, because I was thinking to myself, oh, little mama trying to show out because the camera's here. Baby. No, ma'am. But I think that is how Drew often acts with her children. And she's probably used to Ralph doing everything. But since he's downstairs and can't come upstairs, it does fall on her. So, yeah, I do hate to see Drew in that space. And I just felt like, you know what? I really wish that Ralph would have really took therapy serious. I wish he really would have took therapy serious and the follow-up serious so that they would not be at this place that they are today. And Ralph, for you to say, oh, I divorced her because she cheated with Ty. She should have divorced your ass when you left to go down to Tampa and didn't notify her of where you were. Right? And yeah. Okay, but you want to put all this emphasis on Ty. Anywho, child, I don't, even if Drew did smash, got it in with Dillard, I do not care. I don't care. It does not matter to me. Okay? It does not matter to me. She's clearly been letting Ralph run amok in the fucking palace, okay? From the managing of the accounts, he can leave whenever he wants to. Okay, she's been let. So if he out here doing whatever he want to do, and then she bring up something about an assistant, some stuff was a little weird, and she wanted him to let go of the assistant because she was getting a little too friendly with him. Like she just started to, I feel personally, have a voice since she's been on this damn show. But honestly, I think he's been carrying on the way that he been carrying on in y'all relationship because that's normal to him. So now when you're trying to find a voice, finally he over here like, what the hell you tripping? Oh, you're heightening the situations. Oh, you're not telling the truth. Oh, you're lying. Nah, she revealing what the fuck you really is, and you can't take that because you so used to doing what the fuck you want to do, right? But when you get on television, though, baby, that's a different ball game. People gonna help you see SHI that you did not already see, and that you did see. People gonna make you feel empowered to handle your fucking business, and he couldn't take it. And I don't care what nobody. I stand by that. Period. I'm standing on it. So Shamia and Porsha, let's talk about them. Whew, honey. Make sure we get the likes up, please. If we could get the likes up a little bit more, that would be great. Thank y'all for being here, though. Y'all could be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could be somewhere minding y'all business, but y'all want to be here with me, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know why this thing is not staying down. Okay, that may work. All right. Now, let's talk about it. So, Shamia and Porsha. So, as soon as Porsha, hold on, let me see. Okay, so when they're sitting at the table, Porsha ends up getting a call. Shamia's energy seemed to be fine. But when Porsha got that FaceTime call and she just answered it, I guess Shamia felt interrupted or whatever, her energy shifted. And I'm like, what is that about? Like, why you, what's up? What you got? What's up, girl? Right? So then Shamia, so then she started the conversation off, though. She did. When she was asking, oh, how is this? How is that? I just didn't like the energy Shamia initially started with. But as Shamia grew frustrated, I understood why. So Shamia's energy shifted, and she did start off by saying, she apologized pretty much for, not expressing how she may have felt or whatever like that and coming to her or whatever. So Shamea says that there have been things over the years that has hurt my feelings. And she says, I don't really make it a big deal because, and I may mask it because I care about the friendship, right? And Porsha is confused because she's like, but I thought that we already talked about that. And Shamea's like, yeah, we have, but let me bring up another recent issue though, right? And this is real recent. Okay. So when I played my music and you were over talking it, not only did you over talk it, but you tried to say that it was somebody else. Like, why would you even do that? Talking about something is Drew. Why would you do that? And that really was so left field. And it was like, did you want Shamea to have an issue with Drew? Did you want Drew to say something so Shamea and her could beef? Because like, why out of all people would you bust out and say, that's not her, that's Drew? What? And if you shut up, you can actually hear what the song is saying. You can hear her voice. So anywho, so when she says this, Porsha's like, that would have pissed me the fuck off. That would have pissed me off. That would, yeah. Because although Shamea sat there, she had one energy. Porsha got the phone call, not even saying, give me a second. And then she just answered the phone. And then Shamea had that little tube. But when she got ready to get into her apology, I feel like her energy shifted back to like, okay, let's have a real conversation. Right? So anywho, Porsha did a hard exhale. That would piss me off. So that'll bring my energy up just a little bit. So Shamea doesn't always check Porsha in the moment, but those things does come off as dismissive at times when they do talk. All right. So that is what Shamea is saying. All right. I don't always check you, but when I do check you or when we do have a conversation, you become dismissive at times, right? You over here doing other stuff, putting together shit on the table, you're not actively listening to me. Right. And that's how I often leave the conversation. But I just let it be what it is. And I think that's kind of where you may go a little wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where you may go wrong. So Shamea is said that Porsha didn't shut those ladies down. She didn't like that she didn't shut the ladies down. Because if it was her, she would do that. Shamea says she is here to possibly try to save a friendship. And Porsha said, possibly. So we beefing. Now, something she said, and I'm like, Porsha, yes, possibly, baby. One, y'all ain't really been talking for real. Okay. Two, you have a weird energy where you're exhaling because you don't want to have the conversation for real. So yes, possibly, because also she doesn't know if you're at that place where you want to have a friendship with her. She don't know. So Porsha says, this sit down, it's just it's a little uncomfortable. So Porsha was doing the most, and Shamea was like, "Am I boring you?" And she was like, "No, I'm a bit uncomfortable. That's all. I'm just a little uncomfortable." Porsha says, "Listen, I'm trying to have a productive conversation." I said, "How? When you're not listening, and you really ain't even trying to communicate. What you're really trying to do? You're really trying to give to Shamea the energy that you gave to Drew at that table when y'all was in Tennessee. That's what you slick trying to do, just a little bit." Right? So Shamea says, but look how you responded though. Okay? If I did that, you'll feel away. You'll feel like I'm being dismissive to you. Shamea's not wrong. She not. Shamea brings up what her mom said, right? She was like, what really hurt me when you said that your mom said this and that about me, and that's the reason why you have this push and pull with me. Like you'll fall back from me sometimes because of what your mama said. And now that's the moment for me when I started to look at Porsha mama as a jealous mom. Okay. Yeah. You're trying to impact and control your daughter's friendship. And it also it makes me question, how have you tried to control her relationships as well? How have you been a factor in those relationships that she may have had? Is what I wonder. But anywho, so Shamea brings up how she wants them to be, on camera, how they are off camera. And Porsha says, Shamea says that Porsha said they would have to pay her more. Oh, they'll have to pay me more money for that. They'll have to pay me more money for that. And Porsha is just like, wow, this is scary. Like, this is scary. Like, I can't believe like the show is making you act like that. And Shamea's like, girl, don't reduce my feelings down to no damn show. This really ain't got nothing to do with the show for real. But yeah, we're going to have this conversation here because it is being filmed. But I'm trying to genuinely express my feelings to you. Because being on this show might be the only way I really get to do it. Instead of feeling dismissed all the damn time. Maybe you'll hear me. right? So then Shamea says, I want you to she says, I want you to pretty much be with me on camera how you are off on camera because you love me and that's what you want to do, and it ain't tied to no damn monetary situation. It ain't got nothing to do with money. Right now, Porsha said, wow, Shamea, you want to argue with me, like, or something like that. Basically, she didn't say Shamea was lying, though. She just didn't like the fact that she was having this conversation on camera, it seems. But I do believe that Porsha said that. I do believe Porsha said they'll have to pay me more money for that. Why would you want to come on a show and not act friendly with your real friend that you've known for years? Why would they have to pay you more money to be a friend to your real friend when these other bitches that you hang around or whatever on the show ain't even your real friends and you getting a check? So why would you not want to do that with your real friend? And the reason I also believe that Porsha said that is because of how she did listen to what those other ladies said. She did immediately start crying. And I said, usually when a person does that, it's because they already were feeling a way about you. If she sat up there and entertained a conversation with Angela, it's because she was already likely feeling a way. Either that or she the one playing the game. Because as she came onto this show, y'all really ain't been that close. And then what she telling you behind the scenes is they're going to have to pay me more. So you were willing to kind of risk your own friendship? That don't make sense to me. And I did see that clip. And we're going to get into it probably tomorrow because I don't have a lot of time today. But we'll get into it tomorrow where Angela says she felt like Shamea is playing the game. Now, I'm going to have to watch it in its totality. But I don't think that is Shamea. I think it's Porsha that's playing the game. Right? Especially if your friend is saying, oh, well, they're going to have to pay me more for us to be on how we are on camera versus off camera. What did you mean by that? Why can't you be like that with your real friend, though, unless a lot of your antics behind the scenes and off camera consist of you saying shit like, don't make me fuck her husband. Don't make me call Charles. Don't make me smash on her husband. Is that how you are most of the time off the camera? So they'll have to pay you more for the stress that you're gonna go through from people dragging your ass? Is that what that is? But either way, I'm inclined to believe what Shamea's saying. So Porsha says that it's scary, you know, the show is making you act like this. And Shamea says, like, girl, not you over here trying to minimize my feelings down to the show. I'm trying to actually communicate with you. This is how I feel, like, fuck this show. So Porsha says, just stop it. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be the reason why. Like, can we stop it? Please let it go. I said, here she go. Here she go. There she go. So Shamea is like, girl, what? Shamea like, huh, girl, who? Nigga, why? Jigga, who? Like, why I need to stop? What you talking about? What I did? I ain't even doing that to you, girl. So Porsha, I felt her getting emotional was her way of focusing on her divorce and making it seem like, oh, you know, I'm just going through so much right now. I'm just dealing with so much. Like, oh my God. And so she goes into the bathroom, just gets up and walks off. And you know what I felt? This is something Porsha always does. She always figures out a way to escape the accountability. And maybe not always, but I'll say 85 to 90% of the time, right? So then she comes back to the table and automatically ready to pack her up and go. And Shamea's like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I thought we weren't saying anything. Like, what do you mean we weren't saying anything? As soon as you came down here and sat down, you asked for a to-go box. Like, what do you mean? Are you okay? Like, so Shamea says that she doesn't want to upset her, and she says you're often in a fragile state. When Shamea said that, it confirmed to me, as I said, Porsha does this often. And that is the reason why Shamea is never able to really resolve her feelings. Porsha may be resolved because I also can see Porsha, once you approach her on a situation, she's listening. And when she don't want to hear about, okay, what else can we do? Okay, well then let's move forward like that. Right? But that's not allowing a person to fully resolve and get everything out. Right? Of how they're feeling about you. So because you also always in this damn fragile ass state. I believe it so much. And if you're not in a fragile state, it's always something. Oh, I'm going through this divorce with Cornell. Oh, you know the football player I threw the party for? Oh my God, he thought I was crazy. Oh my God, I got Dennis over here cheating on me and he's doing this and that. Oh my God, they're saying that I smashed Bolo. Oh my God, I'm about to get engaged. Oh my God, I'm getting married soon. Da, 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 da. And who wants to come down on that parade, right? Then it's, oh my God, I got into it with Dennis and almost beat the out of his mom. I picked up a pole and almost clocked everybody in the head. Oh, it's a lot going on. Oh, I'm devastated. Oh, love wins. Oh my God, I'm getting this divorce and he won't even talk to my daughter. Like, it really is given. It's always some shit. It's always something. Mm-hmm. Oh, my mommy said don't trust you. Yeah, it's always, girl. Go on, ma'am. Go ahead. No, go on. You got it. So Porsha asked, what can I do? Now, this is the part of the conversation I did kind of like, but it didn't mean anything because look at where we are today. So Porsha says, what can I do? And Shamia says, when I'm pouring my heart out to you, don't just tell me to stop because those things feel dismissive to me. Like actually make me feel like you're hearing me. Don't do that. I don't like that. Right? Porsha says, I don't want to break up with you. I don't want to break up. I'm not trying to break up with you. I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm sorry. Right? So I believe they both said they were sorry or whatever. They said that they'll pretty much, when they're feeling away, they'll have a conversation. Didn't go nowhere. Okay? Because before the season could even air, they wasn't cool. Before the season could even air for Porsha to get in her feelings about anything, they were not cool. They were already a little fickle before they started filming. The show brought up the issues that they were dealing with, right? And then now, here we are, they don't talk. Porsha put that cute little happy birthday post up and then drugged the girl 2 days later. Like, what? About her mama, and the girl ain't even saying nothing about your mama. Yeah, you should have deleted that post. Now, I don't know if you did that for semantics to get the people to tune in to the show or something, but we watched it and she really didn't even say nothing. If anything, your mama the one that was talking about her. And it wasn't your place, in my opinion, to go back and tell that to Shamia, especially if you're going to continue to be friends with her. To me, I mean, some of y'all may be like, nah, Porsha should have told you. Y'all may feel that way and that's fine, but I don't. Right? So they loved each other or whatever the case was. They ended up hugging it out and still not talking today. So what was it good for? Absolutely nothing. Porsha says that I've never begged so much in my life. Ma'am, you didn't beg. I do think you've begged so much. I think you've begged Dennis to get it right more than you've begged Shamia. I don't think that you really begged her like that. You may feel the pressure and feel like you did that because of what you were going through, but that's not, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. No, no, no. No, no, no. You didn't do that, ma'am. Okay? There was no begging. There was no begging. All right? So that's just that on that. I ain't really got no more. That's all that I got. Not Bolo got big. I'm hollering. Child, the people is crazy today. The people is crazy today. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's all that I got. I'll try to come to you guys tomorrow. I doubt I will be today when it comes to the after show for us to get into some things just a bit. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, got your notifications on and all of that, and we'll tap into that. And also, what else? It's a few things, okay? We got to get into Basketball Wives. Girl, did y'all see Evelyn over there trying to tag Jen? It's a mess. The ladies are fighting and it's a mess. But we'll get into that. Myself, Scotty, Josiah, Terrence giving you the real tea. What's today? Tuesday. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about the show as well. So make sure y'all come back. And then we got the OLFP panel with me on Thursday. Well, it'll be on my channel. On Thursday, and I think that's it. I also got a Scott Jackson video that's gonna be dropping shortly after this one. So make sure you guys are tuned in to that. Oh, wait, BITCH? So Carlos done already dropped the interview with Drew? Now, girl, I don't got time right now. Let me tap into a little piece, though.
She's been living under Porsha's shadow.
Oh, who been living under Porsha's shadow?
Like that is the best word. People said it before me on this show. She was a lapdog. And I say it for myself now because that's what I've seen. For her to come for me about something that Porsha and I already spoke about is lapdog behavior. For her to run back a very innocent conversation back to Porsha and take it in any negative light is lapdog behavior. For her not to stand on business about what she shared with Angela and I and sulk in the moment and not stand and arrive is lapdog behavior. Yeah. And you know, I know a couple puppies. And I have a couple dog treats. So I can identify. You know what I mean? I mean,
you are funny.
I'm just saying. I just, you know.
Do you have any dog treats in the studio?
Listen, I think it might be some remnants. I got to keep them on hand. Running into all kind of delulus and animals. And
I like this interview in the studio, though, y'all. I liked it. Listen, it ain't y'all not gonna make me hate Drew. I really like her, but listen, I love this studio. Let me say, I kind of like Carlos in his podcast bag a bit, right? Especially when he let the guests like talk and get out what all they need to say and listen to what they're saying. And I'm glad Love and Marriage Huntsville has been on a break because, you know, and Bell Collective, because it will make you be upset with him when the reunion come around and he don't ask all the damn questions and shit. But I'm here for this right here.
Jesus. So when you went to Nashville,
yes.
right? I love that Angela invited you. You go in, and long story short, you saw in the episode that when Porsha came to the table, it was giving. Porsha gave y'all nothing. It was so, listen, I'll just be honest. It reminded me of like my days working on the show because
How long has
I
this
know
been
those
on?
girls so well that when they would come to a dinner scene and give nothing, I'm like, what they mad at now? What happened?
Ooh,
so you learned that she found
I'm gonna have
out
to come back and get into this with
that
y'all.
Dennis was filming with you, and you left the trip early. You were like, I'm out of here. And then when you watched the episode, obviously you filmed the entire season, so you knew what was going on. But I want to get your thoughts on this being a married woman, right? Albeit estranged, but still a married woman who was married for 10 years. When Porsha made that joke about, she better leave me alone if I fuck her husband, and you saw Shamia, Kelly, and Britt, you know, laugh at it and not say anything. And the married women in that pool is Shamia and Britt.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As a married woman yourself, if you were in that pool with them and you heard Porsha make that joke, as y'all like getting buzzed, whatever, would you have done what the other girls did, or would you have said something?
Listen, when Angela woke me up after she addressed the situation, because I was sleeping in my bunk bed comfortably, and when she woke me up to tell me what had happened, I was like, oh, no, we got to go outside. Who said it? And what did they say? I wanted to address it. And she was like, oh, I already addressed it. So for me, I obviously believe in the institution of marriage so much that I was like, even to the point where Angela has forgiven Porsha, I'm still feeling a way about it because I'm like, when you make those type of threats about someone's husband, that's not so easily forgivable to me. Filming with my, let's be clear, husband, for me, is where she crossed the line. I think husbands,
I don't think you should be bothered by that.
It's sacred.
Because y'all are estranged.
You go before witnesses, your family, your friends, and before God himself. I just think it sits a little different outside of just the shade. You know, if you want to talk about, I made this innocent comment about your kids, but you're talking about someone's husband, the father of her children, I think that's a new low for Porsha, and I would have definitely addressed it, and I don't think that I would have forgiven it so easily either.
Mm-hmm. You think Angela forgave Porsha too easily?
Yeah, and I've told Angela that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, I believe in forgiveness, but I believe in people proving themselves.
I have to pause it right here, and we're probably going to pick up at a later time, but let me say this, though. Shamia, is no disrespect, but that's how you do that, right? When you don't agree with something that somebody's doing, we have not seen, unless we're going to see it at a later time, Drew did not go and approach Porsha about the she said. Okay? I haven't seen it, right? I haven't seen her go and say anything to this lady about none of the she said or any of that, okay? So that's how I feel you can do that. You let your friend know what you like or what you don't like, but then when you try to go in front of that person your friend got an issue with, it is going to give a bit of lapdog, okay? Just a little piece. All right. But like I said, girl, I got to go. I got to get up out of here, but I will be back and we'll get into all of that. All right. Make sure you're liking up the video. You're subscribing to the channel, sharing the video, all of that. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky at JamiThatsMe. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF. Got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film. I can feel it pull